things such as fridges, I suppose, and then just around the house, I use the fridge, kettle, um, oven. Um, but then the ones everyone thinks about, the phones, laptops, desktops, PlayStations, TVs, music towers, my car, even though it doesn't have a computer in it, it still would be classed as an advancement. Um, the radio in my car, that's probably, yeah.
What technology do I use? I use a lot. I've got my phone, my computer, my tablet. I like reading a lot on Kindles and ebooks. I find it convenient.
Well, I use quite a lot of technologies considering we're in the age of technology. And I use my phone quite a lot as well as my laptop because I'm in university and I like Tumblr. Don't tell my lecturers. I use lights and I use the fridge and I use the car. Well, I don't drive it, but you know, I'm there. There's a lot of technology that I use in my day.
I use a laptop for university. I have a mobile phone, but I don't use it. The television, Xbox. That's about it, actually. I don't know, is your car considered technology? Yeah, car.
I use an iPhone, I use Adobe Photoshop, I use Adobe Illustrator, I use a computer obviously, and I use a stove and a car.
Yeah, I actually do, but like so many, like Facebook and that crap. And yeah, it does reflect actually who I am and not complete, not a bullshit. Like, you know, I'm not a leopard or anything.
I do have an online identity. I have two actually. One of them's for Facebook. I don't use my real name on Facebook. I don't want people to know my real name. The identity on Facebook is maybe a bit more political, although I am very political. I also play World of Warcraft, which I have an identity on there, which is Mercy, and I definitely use Trade Chat to put political views across to young people.
Yes, I actually have two online identities. I have my personal identity, which is embellished upon slightly, but it's also used for as a front for my artistic practice. I also play an online video game, and I have an alt that I call the Lorian, and she doesn't accurately depict who I am.
Well, when it comes to social media, I use Facebook. I don't trust the others yet. But with Facebook, I use it for catching up with friends, family, a little tiny bit of gossip, but not too much. You got to keep an eye on the world. Other than that, I run a club, and in the club, we use the club on Facebook. We have a page, so I like to keep up with comments, see what's being planned. Yeah, that's probably all I really use it for that much.
Social media. I have Facebook, but I don't really use it often. Sort of just keep in contact with friends, or try to keep in contact. I don't try very hard. I do have Instagram. I use that to try and sell some of my paintings, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. No one seems to be buying anything. Same with Facebook. I've sold a few off Facebook, but it's not that great. I have Twitter, but I don't use it. I just joined it because everyone else was doing it at the time. I should delete it. What else? I got DeviantArt, which is another art site that I try and sell works on. Mostly just sort of like an e-portfolio sort of thing of all my works. But that's probably only social media. I play Minecraft, and you can talk to other people with it, but I don't think that's social media.
I think that technology isn't what's separating the classes. I think money is what's separating the classes. And technology will not price itself out because it will always provide a market for those people who can't afford to to have too expensive gear.
Well, the bourgeois is getting really, really big now, so I'm not sure. The poor people, if we're talking third world people, then yeah, definitely we're being separated. People who have access to technology, have access to education, they're far more educated. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I'm not sure.
Yeah, absolutely. There's this real idea that it's cheaper to buy a new, version of whatever you've got than to fix it. So say you've cracked a screen on your phone, it's cheaper to buy the next model up, even if you don't particularly want or need it, instead of just replacing the screen. It really talks about the throwaway society that we kind of live in now, and it's definitely segregating the classes. If you don't have the newest model, you don't have the newest piece of technology, you're not as cool and edgy as all the other kids at school, and it's integrating technology in the way that we teach as well. I feel that it's both good and bad, because students might not have access to computers, or they might not have access to the internet as readily as other students, and it's just affecting people in different ways.
Yeah, technology has really changed the arts industry over the years. The ability to create images has really expanded with the new software that's available. There's just so many options and so many ways that you can alter an image that it has taken it to a really exciting place, I think. And also it's opened up a lot more niche markets for different individual artists to work within.
Well, I'm studying in art and education, so through art, it's revolutionising the way that we use our mediums. So with kiln firing, we used to use wood fires, where it's just a big brick oven and you stick some bits of wood in it, and fire it up until it's hot enough that, it melts flesh. And then you stick the piece of clay in and wait and hope. But now, since we've got the electric kilns, we can designate what temperatures and what times we want the temperatures to go to. And so then we get really nice clear finishes on our firing pieces.
I think quality of life, anybody who has bionic ears or any kind of prosthetic that helps them is a good thing. Are they cyborgs? That's an interesting question. I never really thought of it in terms of that. I guess any kind of prosthetic electronic that you put in your body would class you as a cyborg. And where does it cross the line? Wow. Can it? Is it inevitable that we end up being mostly computer parts and the least amount of human?
No, I don't believe people with pacemakers or that is a cyborg. I believe a cyborg, from my understanding, was more or less when the humanity's lost in technology or machines in a human being. So I suppose when more than 50% of you is either technology or machine, and you lose your humanity. I believe technology hasn't gone too far while we've still got a humanity.
Yes, technology saved my mum's life. A few years back she had a heart attack and she needed a triple bypass and open heart surgery, so that really saved her life, and I'm grateful for that. And she's also diabetic, so she has to use this blood pressure thing. I just call it her pricker. And yeah.
Oh, definitely being able to contact each other when I was at work. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Being able to keep in contact with Linda on a day-to-day basis when I was working night shift, the technology made that amazingly easy.
Yeah, definitely. Without technology, my first child would have been born early, too early for her to survive, and she wouldn't have lived.
Yeah, like my little sister, my family, almost everybody in my family has been subject to cyberbullying or abuse on the internet.
Well, during primary school, I was bullied a lot through cyberbullying, but my mum just ended up telling me not to use it, the internet or anything. That worked out fine. But my sister recently was bullied a lot. She still is bullied during cyberbullying and online and everything. She finds it difficult because she takes everything so personally, even though it's just words, but they hurt.
Yes, I've definitely been at the receiving end of cyberbullying within the World of Warcraft community and also within the Facebook community. People just lose all accountability for their actions and think they can behave towards each other however they like.
I suppose after seeing some movies, my fear for humanity's downfall would be, I suppose, their idea of a downfallen world. I suppose Terminator would be a very large one. How one piece of technology quickly destroyed it. And they ended up hunting down humans to destroy the world. I suppose it would be classed as artificial intelligence would be my fear for the world's downfall. When a piece of technology learns to think for itself, how long before it decides we're no longer needed?
I don't think technology will be the downfall of humanity. I think humanity will be the downfall of humanity. Technology is just a tool, and we've had it for thousands of years, ever since the first fire was created.
Yes, I definitely play World of Warcraft. I have been addicted in the past to the game. It's a good way for middle-aged night shift worker to keep contact with people and have a bit of fun. It's pretty cheap. It turns out to be about 40 cents a day. I don't know of any other entertainments that are that cheap. And does it clash? Well, yeah, definitely it clashes with writing assignments for university and yeah, it definitely clashes.
I do play World of Warcraft. I've also played Lotro and a few other multiplayer games. I think the reason why they're so addictive is because we are brought up in a society where we're taught to compete and to achieve, and through these games people find a sense of achievement, and therefore it creates an addiction. It's like feeding what they've already been trained to do. As far as conflicts are concerned, perhaps in the beginning of when I first started playing these games, I had some moments where I may have lost myself in the game, but over the years and as I developed my maturity and my understanding, I think I've created a really good balance between life and gaming, to a point where gaming doesn't take over my life.
– 22 hours and just onward, just completely onward. I use it like every day, every second.
I'm not sure of the number, but a lot. I'm on pretty much when I wake up. A few little breaks till I go to bed.
Wow, I'd say at least 14 to 15, maybe more. It really depends on what I've got ahead of me for the day. As you know, I count all kinds of technology, from a car to the basic items that you find around your house to computers. We're constantly surrounded by technology, just even having our lights on. So, maybe even looking at 24 hours a day, really, when it comes down to it.
I'd probably say about 18 hours, 16 to 18 hours. When I'm not asleep, I'm either watching TV on my computer. I may come down on average, just going out. So I'd say probably about 14 hours a day.
It kind of depends on what you believe. Like, for instance, I believe that it's definitely people who created it because they're just complete wankers. They just want the money, and it's all like this massive cycle of, oh, let's just have this and then that, and then regret, and then denial. There are different answers for that question. It's kind of a mixture of all three. The technology itself is just evil. we spend day in, day out, looking at cat videos and GIFs of Captain America's butt. There are people who use it wrongly, incorrectly. I'm a teacher, I should know that. And they abuse the power that it gives them, because it not only is it instant gratification, you've got this kind of mask and people can't really tell who you are. You can be anonymous and then you can tear someone down for something. And I guess it's also the people who created it as well, because they were just looking to fill this niche market of, how much money can I squeeze out of these people? And it's really just giving us this distraction from all the problems that are actually happening in our world.
Is technology evil? I'm wondering if you're asking if man is evil there, being the creator of technology. I don't think technology is evil. I think intent is evil. What the technology is being used for, drones, drones in the Middle East, saving a baby from a heart condition. I think it's, is it balanced? I can't answer that question. I definitely think it's not evil. That's about the people who use it, the intent.
I don't think technology is evil. I think that technology is actually quite benign. It doesn't have a mind of its own at this point in time. So it's really the people who use technology. It's the way they use it and the applications that they use it for. So for example, a company like Monsanto, who develops chemicals that actually poison the earth and try and force farmers to use their seeds, that's an evil use of technology. Whereas saving the life of a human being through the use of medical advancements, that's a good thing.
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't think people are wary of new technology. In the developed world, I don't think they are. Maybe in underdeveloped countries they may be. Privacy is a big thing at the moment. There's a lot of metadata laws that are changing in Australia.
Okay, I think people are hesitant with new technology first and are wary of them, mainly because movies influence what people's ideas are. So when they see things being made, or such as America, when they said they were going to build Iron Man, people were skeptical of it. They're going, how far before it's too far? Then they see that it's helping to save lives, or it's helping advancements with cancer, or something to do with the hospitals. How much technology went to hospitals that came out of the first moon landing? Or, there's more technology now in our washing machine than in the first rocket that went to space. I think people will continue to use technology up until the point that it is too late. They'll do it to keep up with their friends or their family. They'll do it to be cool or seem up to date with something, to seem in the loop. But they won't stop using up until the point that they go, it's too far.
Shit.
Alright. Okay, so I think you just burst my eardrum. I can't hear much out of this one right now.
Alright. Can you think of a time technology has significantly benefited you or your family?
Yep, completely. Just supporting our habit for just downloading TV shows. Not supposed to say that! Yeah, I was supposed to
Alright,
you like...
how many times a day do you use technology? That
23.
wasn't the question. My apologies.
That was the question.
How many hours a day do you use technology?
I was told to say 23 hours, excluding 15 minutes for pee breaks.
Action. Alright, is technology evil? The people who create it or the people who use it?
It's got a bit